Be really clear about who you want and who you need. I always had a tough time thinking about when am I going to hire someone? And I was exposed to the wrong people who were like, oh, hiring people made my life worse. When I started my practice, I was told like from all the physios around me that it's not going to work. No one's going to pay cash for physical therapy. It's actually even unethical. And so I just always doubted that it was going to be a viable business. And so I was like, well, if this isn't going to work, like, why would I hire someone else? And it took me 5 years to really kind of realize that it is working, it's growing, it's doing a lot for my life and consuming a lot of my time. And I finally hired an administrative assistant. I was really only able to do that once I hung around the right people and saw like, hey, they're like me, they think like me, and look, they're doing so much more than me because they've got people working for them. And I was like, oh. I mean, I realized once I hired Sarah, my first employee, she saved me an hour a day. Like, it meant I could get home early because my notes were already done and I didn't have to take all the phone calls and do everything. And I just started realizing it was hard to get into that and see myself there because I was responsible for someone else, right? In air quotes. But then what I realized is it freed up so much of my time to hire someone that I could do a whole lot more. And that's really how I was able to grow my coaching business and everything. My expectation as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, is to give them a job that I would have wanted, but they're not me. They don't think like me. Why are they employees? Because they want to clock in and clock out and they want to know how much they're making every few weeks. When I look back, it's like they need the certainty and clarity, whereas my expectation was, let me do something that I would have liked and give you some autonomy, but that comes with uncertainty. And so I think when you hire employees, we really have to give them certainty and be clear with our expectations, which is sometimes very hard for me as an ADD entrepreneur to do, because I'm like, I want to leave the door open for something great to happen, but what they want is just, certainty. I don't want to hire friends, but if a friend refers someone to me, my own email list, we've already got these email lists. So even for an admin for the clinic, we've advertised or emailed out to my own clinic patients list. Say, hey, do you know someone who might be interested in this? Please share this listing with them. That can be a great way to do it. But I do want to go back to is there a mistake or something? I don't really want to hire a friend or someone who has a different relationship with me to be in this other relationship, because that just muddles the two things. It's very difficult. It's hard to see for me in my mindset. I'm like, I'm your employer. There's certain things I'm not going to talk to you about. I'm not going to talk to you about your personal life or ask you questions about your personal life like I would if I was your friend. Because if I'm your friend, I'm going to ask you everything, and you ask me a question, I'm going to tell you how it is. And that's maybe one of my faults is you ask me how I'm doing, I'm actually going to tell you how I'm doing. I'm not just say, oh, fine. But with an employee, I know there's certain laws and questions I can't ask in an interview. I don't know exactly what they are because I'm not a HR. But then sometimes the feedback I've gotten is, it's like, well, I wish you would have asked me more about this, and I know, so I think employees want time together. Like our team definitely wants time together. We're not talking about work. But if Aaron, the employer or business owner, I can't be everyone's friend because I'm the boss. I mean, I think it's one of my I think there was one of my early mentors, Alan Ling, was talked about the 4 fatal flaws of business owners or people. It's like, the fear of being disliked, or that you need to be liked. And he was like, Aaron, that's yours. It's like, it's not that I worry about what other people think about me. It's that if I'm interacting with you or I'm helping you, it's like, I don't want you to, think I'm being an asshole or or I'm doing it for any reason other than to help you, do more in your own life. And when people disapprove or they don't take it the way I meant it, and they're like, oh yeah, he's just being X, Y, and Z, or, disliked it. It's hard. That's really hard to deal with. But you're right. We're business owners, and whether it's with our team or our clients, especially as coaches, my job's not to be nice. My job is to tell you what you need to do and tell you the truth. What I do is a combination of tasks for people to do using Gmail, canned responses or automated template responses. There's a like a description. And I don't want just like 1,000 messages or emails through Indeed. I want like the people who actually read the job description to respond to me. So there'll be a little thing at the bottom. It says, please send an email to hiring@LeBauerPT.com with the subject line, whatever, like rockstar physical therapist, and tell me about the last time you made someone happy. And they have to get the email right. And actually it's not a LeBauer PT email. It's like a random email. And it's just an email account I don't even look at. And if they get it right, it'll send them the reply with the next step. And then it says, hey, tell me about a time when, X, Y, and Z. And then another one, it's like, hey, send me a video on this. And it's 3 different email accounts. And it's a little weird, like backwards loop. I mean, I've taught that and people use it really great. And last year, it was a little bit harder to get people, but it works. And I've hired some great employees using that. I did it, shortened it by creating a survey. So like a type form survey. There was a little bit more job description at the top, put in these things so people wouldn't put in their social media. If you're not going to share your social media with me, I'm not going to hire you. And so that stumped a lot of people. And then it had some questions. And at the end, it was thank you. And it was like, hey, send me your video on X, Y, and Z. That got people through a little faster. But the way I first described it, that's pretty much my bulletproof. I've hired some amazing employees with that method, because they have to pay attention, they have to follow directions. And if they can't do either of those 2 things, I don't want to actually meet with them. And then if the video arrives in my email inbox, I know I've got someone that can at least follow directions. Here's one of the things that I do. If you're an admin, I have you answer questions on the video. But if you're a physical therapist, I say, send me a video that's this long, teaching me 3 exercises for back pain. So I get to see not only their presence on video, but some of the things they start recommending. With their clinical staff, I do want them to, kind of treat me or put their hands on me, especially with massage therapy, but with PT as well. Like I want to know what level of clinical skills they have. So I'll have them evaluate me. I'll just say, hey, just pretend like I'm your patient and you've got 45 minutes, evaluate me and treat me however you want. I haven't had a lot of good luck with like bonuses. The things that I've learned, especially in the last year, that our team members really want, they want opportunities to be together. And maybe this is a 2020 thing, or it just came out in 2020. I really learned this because we were not all together. They want to be together and not talk about work, whether that's for lunch once a month or something else. Like that's what they really desire. And I think that's really what the team building can do. We used to, pre-COVID, do a lunch and learn, and once a month it was someone's job everyone would like read a book or watch a video or something, and someone was there to teach it, or someone would go to a Con Ed and they come and teach it to everyone over lunch. And that was good, and we got together. But what they really want is they want time together, not work, and at the same time, like this isn't a social club. Like we have people to take care of. It's not a job where you have the job to have friends. We've got like a handful of employees or less, and it's not a social hour. Be really clear about who you want and who you need. Okay, one of the things that I've learned in the last year is, like for my coaching business, like I don't need an executive assistant, I need a project manager. But I didn't know that because my view of what a project manager did a year ago was something really different than what I understand it now, having hired someone to do part of that job, but not really that job. And then now they're not with me. And I realized that what I needed was something different, but I was looking for the wrong thing. Be okay with failing at it, because sometimes you just don't know until you try and you go, wait, that wasn't it.